That was weird.
That's how we start. Because welcome to the Thinking Man's Pro Wrestling Podcast. I am your host with the roast, Rusty Diamond. And I am here with my co-host,
With a stack of dimes.
From the West Coast. Really from way, I guess he's in the East. Is that East? He's not somewhere. He's from Europe, damn it.
Oh, yeah, that place.
This is G.
How's it going, folks? Oh, it feels like forever, just kind of like what we were talking about before we started the show. It feels like forever since we've done a lot of this podcast, only because we've gone, a couple days later than usual?
Yeah.
That's all
Today's Friday, and I have later on going to be doing the Fred Ben Savage as Fuck live show on Facebook tonight with let's see, Casey James, who's my co-host on When the Gloves Come Off, as well as Donnie D. Clown coming. I forgot about that. He's down with the Clown. He's a cool dude. He's a juggalo, but he's a good dude. And then there's and then we have a dude, Bradley. He's from Japan. He's like just started this TV show. He's a comedian, and he's gonna be on. What?
His name was Bradley?
His name is Bradley, and he's from Japan. He lives in Japan. I don't know if his name's really Bradley. I'm not sure. It might, like, hey, it's me, Brad. I'm from Japan. That would be pretty fucking cool. Like, you picture a Brad. Brad's one of those names kind of like Karen, where it just sort of, it has a certain connotation to it. Like, a Brad. But maybe that's just a Brad in the United States and not Japan. But that's going on tonight. We're going to go and we're going to watch an episode of The Wonder Years, and we're going to watch an episode of Boy Meets World. So you got both the Savages, and we're going to go and tell the world how they could have been more savage. It's on this Facebook beta testing thing.
I was a Boy Meets World guy. I'll say that.
You were
I like that. Yeah, the Wonder Years, man, because they had that Marilyn Manson looking kid on there, and just the whole motif, like, of the show. Like, I don't know, man. I just remember the rumor that the kid on the show, the Savages kid, the kid on the Wonder Years, with the glasses, the friend, who looked like Marilyn Manson.
Paul.
Yeah. I just remember hearing a rumor growing up when Marilyn Manson came out that was Marilyn Manson.
Yeah.
Shit for like 2 minutes.
Maybe it is. They said they proved it's not, but maybe it is.
Him and Velveteen Dream are fucking on an island at this point, Epstein's Island. Little VD, a little trouble.
Yeah.
That's right. There's no wrestling this week, folks. It's just going to be strictly fucked up shit. But hey, Bradley, and they have those crab vending machines over there where you can get in the vending machines live crabs.
Oh.
So, they're the vending machines, and it comes out at midnight. This guy comes by in his little cart, dude, and he loads up fresh crabs, and people swarm these vending machines for these crabs. They're called hairy crabs, by the way, I think, because they got hairy
crabs.
Yeah.
You
know what's coming next in those vending machines will be the gay frogs, right?
Yeah, dude.
That's gonna come into the show.
You try to click a different kind of frog, but all you get is the gay frog. So that's
Or as
cool.
they're spiraling out the machine, they change genders. Like right before you get a male frog, and right before it hits, it turns female. You're like, fuck.
Yeah, I thought I ordered the other. This is bullshit.
Oh, we'll get into some more gay frogs later. On a sadder note, though. So let's well, before we get into the sad notes, we'll just start off with a dick note. You got my heat. So the heat that I had. Oh, now you have that heat wave coming into your neighborhood.
Oh yeah, dude, it's hot as fuck. It's like 100. It was 105 yesterday, I think, and but it's all dry heat. It's not that bad. I was out driving in it with the windows down, didn't have the AC on. Dry heat's cool as fuck, man. Like, it's way different. It's way, and we're like pretty high up. High elevation and shit.
So wouldn't it be hotter?
Because it's higher elevation? I don't know. I don't know. It's still hot. It was hot as fuck.
Thing that I'm saying, because I'm from Oregon, where all drugs are legal, by the way. Move on in. Yeah, I just figured the higher you are up on a rock, the hotter it would get when it's a hot day out, because you're closer to the sun a little bit. But I don't know. That's my way of thinking. So I don't kill everybody's eyes. Give me 2 seconds here, folks. Just realized I left one light on. Right back.
Okay. So now with G gone, we're gonna start the real show. It's called Show. What's up?
Well,
you're back.
Just to take over. Ooh, would love to go into that one a little bit. But on a sadder note, man, and we'll also get into my crazy thinking in a little bit with this. We lost a Patriot. Del Wilkes. Age.
It's another one of those.
Yeah, too young, man. Like, I don't know. It just sucks. And there should be, and I'm just going to get right into this part of it because it's not really talked about strongly these days, I don't think, enough. I know it's out there. There needs to be more help for these guys, especially the veterans and the legends that are out there that have fucking really put their body on the line, unlike this young crew out there. And Del Wilkes was one of them. Dealt with a lot of injuries, took a lot of painkillers, and we all know what happens after that: addictions and death, usually, or a long road of shit. I thought he was a phenomenal athlete. I thought the look of him, like chiseled wise, I mean, when you think of a chiseled body, that was Del Wilkes. I mean, it was very defined. Promo wise, hit and miss. I mean, I'm not going to say he was a stinker every time. I'm not going to say he ever had a great promo, but he was a promo already. I mean, it said it on his face because of his mask. He was a patriot. He stood for the country, and he didn't need to say too much. That's how I felt about the guy.
It was like Duggan, but like way more. Just.
Oh, sorry. I just laugh every time at Duggan. I'm not going to say anything mean. He's a nice guy, and he's just always been the goofy guy in wrestling to me that's always been there. Just a lovable. He was the Mick Foley before Mick Foley, just without the hardcore.
Good. Great way to put it. Great way to put it, man. He really is. He's just there. He's there, and it's good. It's always good to see him. Every time we see him, it's like, oh, it's Hacksaw, and everyone gives him the thumbs up and whatever they want to say. I don't know if those words are copyrighted or something, or whatever his catchphrases are.
About like maybe some chick coming down the street, ho, like that. I mean, that's different.
Yeah.
So you say it like that. I'm not holding a 2x4.
Yeah, that's where I was going. So good.
Yeah, so I'll find a way around everything.
I like it. That's the goal in life.
So yeah, Del Wilkes, we lost the guy. He had a massive heart attack, age 59. He died on June 30th. And this will get into my conspiracies things here. So we've talked about Bruce Lee, Steamboat. And we've talked about Brandon Lee as the Crow and Sting taking the gimmick. And now the Democratic side in wrestling took out the Patriot right before 4th of July. Somehow they've said it was a mass fire. They took him out. These liberal wrestling fans or wrestlers got into him and they took him out because 4th of July was coming up. But I only say this, by the way, a total side note. Don't move to Oregon, not just because drugs are legal here, because they fucking take away your holidays too. I didn't have 4th of July. I forgot to talk about that.
Oh, you didn't have 4th of July? I don't think I had 4th of July either. 4th of July got canceled. You have to cancel the most patriotic holiday of the whole year. You can't, like, Christmas, whatever, is 4th of July. 4th of July is the fucking holiday of holidays. You got to blow shit up.
Yep.
Yeah. On fire. And you got to eat fucking hot dogs and hamburgers.
Even a more side note, so I'll make it 30 seconds or less. I moved to the States. I'm from England like 20 years ago. Is it long? No. Yeah, somewhere like that. I came here, and we have Guy Fawkes, right? That's our 4th of July. But we don't really blow shit up. We make giant bonfires. So we still, everybody's wood or fucking tools in the neighborhood, and we set it on fire. Mattresses and all. Here, you guys blow shit up, and I didn't know anything about this. And there's these things called Roman fucking candles when I got here. Well, I don't really remember. My friends looked at me, and they're like, hey, Gene. And I'm like, what's up? And they go, you ever fucking had a Roman candle war? And I was like, do what? And they're like, yeah, Roman candle war. And I'm like, what do you do? And they're like, you light this stick right here, and you just fire it at us, dude. We had a Roman candle war. It was the coolest shit in the world until one brother got the other brother in the fucking eye up in the attic. And it's an attic of a garage, not inside of a house. So it didn't get that extreme. But yeah, it ended horribly, but damn, it was fun. But anyway, yeah, I had no fireworks. I will be 40 this month, but I will throw a fit like a 4-year-old when my shit gets taken away like that. I am now an American. I love this damn country. It is my home, and you take away my fucking fireworks for our Independence Day, I'm gonna be pissed off now.
Yeah.
All right.
Really
to the Patriot, we love you. Thanks for all the memories.
10 bells.
Yeah, if I had one. And on to more sad news, and then we'll get into the happy shit. Terry Funk. You heard us talking about this shit. Now, Terry Funk, that pulls on my heartstrings. Because Terry Funk, and if you know me, I'm an ECW guy, hardcore guy. When I saw Japan Death Matches, I fell in love. The way he talks, the way he holds himself, the crazy eyeball shit he always does. Oh, my eye, my eye. I love all that shit. And unfortunately, age, injuries, and God knows how many chair shots, bumps to the head, and all that stuff has caught up to Terry. He does have forms of dementia coming in. He is in assistant living. Tommy Dreamer, if everybody wants to stay updated about Terry Funk's health at this point, Tommy Dreamer does give updates. They are very close. Tommy Dreamer, I'm sure you can find it on Twitter, IG. He does give out updates for Terry. So, everyone, send your love out there to Terry. I'm sure he's got some Twitter. If you can't find a place to send it to Terry, send it to Tommy. If you can't find it there, for the couple that listen to us, send it our way, and I'll try to make it down the pipes to Terry somehow. Send your wishes to him. It'll help out. Share some memories of Terry. It's the best thing you can do with people that are losing their memories is to try to jog their memory, bring it back to them. Send them the best memories you have of Terry in the ring. I'm sure he would appreciate it. So, God, that was a shitty way to start the show.
Yeah, dude, that Terry Funk part just was like, oh man, it just.
It's pretty dark. I figured let's just keep going dark, but in a different way, into a black way, into Malachi Black. He's still fucking Tommy End to me. I've known this guy for a long, long time. Not personally, just watching him on the shows and in the business. I know him as Tommy End. awesome motherfucker. He is, and dude, he has evolved.
Dude, he's gonna just crush it. There's no way, like he's gonna be like in a top pitcher right away, right off the bat, going for the title. There's no reason not to just. What's that?
You think he's gonna start out with Cody first?
Oh yeah, that's probably a good point. That's gonna be a great fucking match. That's gonna be great promos coming up to it too. That's gonna be that's gonna be a fucking awesome program if that's the case. I love it. I will watch every bit of that. That's cool, man. That's gonna be a fucking rad match when that happens. And hopefully they have a good long feud. I hope. I hope they do.
I see him making, they do it, they gotta go dark. But he could be the new leader of the Dark Order.
That's a great idea.
They would have to really darken it. And I can see like Evil Uno being like Malachi's Black is like, bitch, like, yes, sir, I'll do anything, sir. And he's orchestrating all the other Dark Order. And then you get a couple of Dark Orders kind of funky on a little bit, and those would be your little breakout stars like Silver and all that shit, dude. Like, it's workable. Because the weird thing is, after watching Road Rager, man, I actually like Evil Uno, man.
Yeah.
He's like a masked little pallbearer, Paul Heyman little guy. Like, yeah, shit's in the ring, but yeah, dude, I don't know, man. He kind of grew on me last night when I was cramming the shows, like a college kid with a.
Okay, he's pretty underrated, man. Like, there's a bunch of guys in that group, like, and I think every single one of them, almost, is probably like gonna be, it's a great way for all of them to fucking get over, and all of them are getting over in that fucking Dark Order, and. And then they have they're on the YouTube shows and shit, Being the Elite and the fucking Sammy Guevara show and shit of that nature. They're all over that.
Okay, a question for you, man. This is nowhere on my format. This just came to me, by the way.
Good.
How do you feel? This is a question just to Rusty. No one else, no fan base, just to you. How do you feel these days about professional wrestlers? I will never officially call these guys superstars, by the way. They're professional wrestlers. That's what they do for a living. How do you feel about them doing things like the video gaming with Twitch, or like this their side, like little things they do on the side? Like, they're not so much vignettes, kind of like what Aleister Black, Tommy End, Malachi Black, whatever the hell you want to call him, did right before he showed up on AEW. Or things like the New Day playing video games with like Adam Cole. Like, I've seen it where their faces and they're playing video games with heels is chuckling along with them. I mean, the art of killing kayfabe is pretty much it right there. But how do you feel about that kind of shit?
Yeah, they do it in those fucking YouTube shows. They kill it a bunch. I mean, you can say it's already dead, but still, it sucks when someone's in a program with someone else and you see them, with each other or palling around and shit. Or good guys with bad guys. It's like, what is anyone anymore? And how do you know who they are? And like if it's New Day playing video games with, someone, but like New Day is not really a character. That seems, it seems kind of like their thing. But like, if it's the Undertaker, for instance, and if it's the Undertaker and he's like all of a sudden playing video games with Adam Cole and being all like, talking all funny and getting all goofy and shit, that's not gonna work. That ain't happening. Like, that's messed up, man. But like, I don't know. I don't see really any harm because I know I don't know. I guess if anyone sees them doing it, they'll at least know that they were friends from far back, so that they could have some sort of like, some sort of basis for them talking to each other, like that they would have some past for something. So, but like when they're a totally different character and like they don't mention that shit on their program, if they mention that shit on their program, on whatever show they're on, if they're on Raw or something, they would get like, you got to go and you say like, hey man, I'm like in this other thing, check this out, check out me like playing video games, don't you want to see both? Like, and then but like kind of integrate that into your character, that's part of you. Don't no sell it and be like, this is totally different, because it's that thinking of superstars versus professional wrestlers, like you were saying. And like, I don't know, I don't like the term superstar either. I think it's stupid. I don't want to hear it, and then I don't want to hear other people calling them superstars. I want to hear them calling them wrestlers. But I mean, even if they don't, God, I don't know if I want to say that. I was gonna say, even if they don't wrestle, it's still a wrestling show. It may not be a wrestling match, but it's still a wrestling show. But you can call them wrestlers, like anyone, or I'm involved in wrestling. I'm not. You can't say I'm just a superstar. Like, not everyone's a superstar. Not all
superstar in the classroom. That's. Are you a superstar as a firefighter, as a cop? What are you a superstar at?
Yeah,
that's how I.
Superstar sounds like some fucking 8-year-old Captain America bullshit or something. It's like, you're a superstar. And then, but it's funnier even that like there's that stupid movie, that SNL skit. It wasn't that stupid. It was kind of funny. It had its moments. The Superstar movie with Molly Shannon, where she's the Mary Catherine Gallagher. That one, yeah, dude, Superstar. So like every time, because I think he was calling them superstars after that movie came out. I could be wrong on that, but I would be so. I mean, the skit was out, I think, before he started calling them superstars.
So, man, that old man does fucked up things to his employees, man.
Yeah, you guys put that shit in your pipe and smoke that.
Oh, so.
Good segue.
So, getting back to what you were saying, though, yeah, I'm 50-50 on it, because I look at it as, you got to make money. I know WWE makes money off their superstars, and they give money to their super wrestlers. See where we're going now?
Right.
But you should be able to do kind of what you want, unless you sign a contract knowing that you're not able to do this. You should be able to put yourself over. I do agree with companies. When you're a big-time company, you want to hold that entity that's giving you a lot of money. You don't want them wrestling in other promotions because they can get hurt. And at the same time, doing the Twitch shit, whether that's for video games or whatever, there's always those instances where someone does or says something stupid. And so I think that's what the WWE is afraid of, is that they don't have an agent next to their side coaching them what to say and what not to do and all that stuff. And I think with all the political PC crap going on these days, I think the company itself, because it's got so much invested in people, are just afraid that, I'm not going to say like a deal off a nipple out, or a fucking superstar is a drunk guy on there and he does something inappropriate, says something underage while they're live on Twitch, and boom, there comes that media. I get all that, but in other companies, dude, you got to put yourself over. That's what this is all about. So I don't have a problem with it, as long as it's hurting a company itself, like you're taking advantage of shit, whether that's the company or a person, especially like I said, minors, Velveteen Dream. So I don't have a problem with it. I think it needs to be modeled and structured a little bit better. And if we're gonna do shit like Cameo and charge people $600 for a 15-second thing, man, send us a fucking T-shirt along with that Cameo. Because I've watched some of these cameos now from the WWE guys. They suck, dude. Like, I would feel fucking utterly ripped off. And yeah, I'm a fucking rat. I have a better time going to the goddamn airport, stalking these motherfuckers, getting their autograph and talking to them for a brief moment, and getting my ass ripped off $600 and fucking all that shit and not getting a damn thing. But yeah, man, my question is, how much does WWE make of that cameo money?
Probably nothing.
Oh, so before we go any further, the Tommy and Malachi Black thing, we got to get something cleared up for everybody.
Yeah.
How the fuck did he...
What?
How Malachi Black showed up on the show.
Oh, it was cool because in the show, I think everything went black one or two times before that earlier in the show, and it was set up to it. It was really fucking cool, and I was like, because like my girlfriend came over and like walked by, and she's like, "Did the power just go out, or like what's going on that show?" And I'm like, I don't know. And then it went back on, and then I think it did it. It might have did it again. I think it did it twice, and then the third time was when he came out and fucking, dude, man, that gave me goosebumps. It was amazing. I mean, I haven't seen or heard a pop like that since I was asking G, and I don't know the last time I heard a pop like that. And I don't think it's been and I mean, it was a small crowd, but just to see a crowd that fucking shocked.
Shane McMahon coming back is the last one I heard that was super crazy.
Yeah.
Shane coming back now was that's 5 years ago though.
Yeah. I mean, dude, this was pretty fucking rad. It was well done
to get a pop.
Yeah. You weren't seeing it, man. No one gives a shit about what was going on. Like, there could have been some moments in the last year or so, and it really sucks with people that got debuted in the last year or whatever during Corona and the Rona. Yeah, the Rona. And it just, they don't get like their moment. They come in and they're like playing to the TV cameras or something, thinking like, oh, here I am. It's not like the crowd's just fucking going insane seeing these people. But some of them, like, dude, it was like pretty fucking cool. Like when Matt Hardy showed up, that was fucking cool as shit. Like that would have been a huge.
There was no crowd there. I think we would have got that pop sound a lot earlier if we had a crowd when he showed up.
When I showed up, you guys get a pop with the crowd. Is that what you said?
No, when Matt Hardy originally showed up in AEW.
Oh yeah, there was no crowd.
Yeah, no crowd.
If there would have been a crowd, man. Like Casey, there was other guys too when they came out.
No, the pop, dude, was the Hardys showing up at WrestleMania 36, 35 when they appeared, when everyone thought it was a New Day. That was the last good pop when the Hardys surprised at WrestleMania because they were at ROH the night before doing a ladder match with the Bucks.
Yeah. Yep. And then they do a ladder match the next night.
Yeah.
That's fucking nuts. But yeah, that was a huge pop. That was fucking insane.
I just got a movie idea. Try to remind me later.
It's going to be on video and podcast.
Oh, no, I just have a movie idea. So, yeah, we'll talk. I got a good idea for a movie.
Well, write it down right now or something. Or don't forget
right?
it,
Yeah. My morning breakfast is a little cloudy. So one thing I wanted to get clear for everybody. Everybody's been asking about the 30 or how did Aleister Black, Tommy End show up on AEW? So I went deep diving, right? And then you went deep diving, I think, or we talked about it.
Yeah.
So what happened is that when Aleister Black was on NXT, in his contract was a 30-day no-compete clause. When he jumped over to the main roster, that was not updated to make it a 90-day no-compete clause. So while he was on the main roster, the whole entire time, if he got released or whatever, he had a 30-day no-compete clause, which was a clerical error, which someone I'm sure is going to get fired for. And that's how he got to show up on the show so soon instead of the 90 days. And the question is there other superstars that were released around that time that has the same clerical error? Now, keep in mind, there's also this thought, too, that since Vega is back, Vega compromised and said, let him just have 30 days instead of 90 days. That's also the rumor. Nothing's fully been confirmed, but those are the two rumors. The 30-day non-compete clerical error is the strongest rumor. So.
And, dude, he's a superstar. He's a superstar. Side note, with Superstar, there's a guy from NorCal. His name was the Superstar. His name was Mike Shoop.
Shoot.
I think.
Was he
the Superstar. So that was my one thing with that. So Superstar. Superstar. I don't want to call a wrestler a superstar. And I don't think I never really got into it, and I never probably will. Never probably.
Yeah.
How do you guys like that one? Never probably.
Never probably.
That's a t-shirt.
Maybe
That's
sure.
a t-shirt.
Maybe probably, maybe sure. Maybe
No,
probably.
Never, yeah.
Never probably.
Never probably.
So yeah, that's that. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see where it goes. He carried on the eye injury from WWE over to AEW, so that'll be interesting. Yeah, and if I haven't seen it officially yet, but I will check it out today. There is a little vignette that he did. Is pretty twisted, I guess. Pretty fucking crazy, weird horror movie like shit. So I'm a horror movie fanatic myself, so I'll be checking that shit out. So yeah, I watched Road Rager. Got through it. Some of it was hard to get through. The main event, let's just jump into that. That one sucked. If anybody watches, I love Eddie Kingston. If anybody watches the ending to that match, watch Eddie Kingston reach in his pocket over and over again. I don't know if he's looking for a blood pack because they put thumbtacks in his mouth and then super kicked him or whatnot, but yeah, I'm not too sure. Not too sure there, but that match sucked. They shaved off their mustaches a week.
Wait, what?
There was no mustaches on the Young Bucks.
Oh, well, that's a mistake.
I think they were pull-offs, dude.
Dude, man, that's a mistake. They looked cool as fuck. They looked...
Except that fucking Velveteen Dream fucking chandelier shit hanging down from their head.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's... Yeah. But then he ripped that off. Like, you know, there was people doing that back in the 70s and 80s and shit.
Yeah. See what else was on the match? Man. See, there's a bunch. Yeah. So his debut, Malachi Black's debut. Okay, here's my thing. I like these guys. All right. There's, you know, I don't know, but Gallows and Anderson.
Yeah.
Why the fuck do they come off so goofy in AEW?
Because they can.
I don't know, man. It's weird in watching it. But Moxley versus Machine Gun Carl Anderson next week.
That sounds like a great match, and there's going to be a lot of people out of the ring.
Yeah, yeah, run-ins.
Dude, but he's fucking cool as shit, man. Like they have a podcast. Have you listened to their podcast before? The Talking Shop. Yeah, Some good shit, man. If you go back and listen to the really old ones, those are really good. If you guys get a chance, go back. Good show. I'm talking to you, but to people.
I've met Doc Gallows. He's a really, really cool guy. Really nice, just chill guy. Carl Anderson. I'm telling you right now, if you meet Carl Anderson, you're good because he is good at getting through the crowds, man. He is really good. He is sneaky. He is sneaky motherfucker. He's Baron Corbin sneaky, man. Corbin is pretty good at doing that shit.
Really? He's a tall
Yeah.
dude too. He's a lot bigger than Carl Anderson.
You know who's a prick?
Who?
So there's a good comedian out there named Tosh. If anybody watches his show, Tosh.0, I am now on the same boat with Tosh, with Arn Anderson, man. I'm at this fucking point now. This guy's a dick. Like, I just see in his promos. When I met him, wanted to get an autograph, he's like, John Cena's behind me. John Cena's behind me. No, he wasn't, you motherfucker. And that totally ruined everything for me. And I've heard his countless stories about him being dicks to fans and shit like that. So, Arn Anderson, you're going to be in a handicap match soon. I'm just warning you. Not just Tosh, I'll be fucking coming after your ass. Anyway, fuck Arn Anderson. The character. I'm sure personally he's a nice guy because I even heard that some asshole took a belt all the way to his house to get signed one time. And he was nice enough to sign the damn belt for the fucking fan. And I would have knocked the motherfucker out myself.
Yeah.
But I digress. Did you watch Great American Bash?
I don't think so. Maybe. Well, was that just now?
Yeah, it was this week. I watched it. It's picking. Okay, so the part that's fucking killing me is the commentary. The commentary's got to get restructured. As far as everything else,
oh, sorry.
yeah,
Is this NXT? Okay.
So I don't know. Like, Karrion Kross as the champion's the shit. Like, I'm a big Cross guy. I think he's awesome. He doesn't need to be in NXT. He needs to be on the main roster. I think he can go to the top very, very quickly. Have good programs with like Randy Orton. Maybe Roman Reigns. I think he can have some good programs. Maybe even Cesaro would be a good startup, something like that. But he's got a lot of opportunities if he goes to the main roster. I think now on NXT they're kind of closing down for him. So that was all right. Timothy Thatcher and Ciampa versus MSK. I haven't watched too much MSK.
Who is MSK?
Rascals.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Wesley and Nash Carter, I think, if I got that right.
Sure.
I try to do homework on newbies as I can. They're newbies to me anyway. I know they were in the indies. I watched some of their shit last night, dude. Pretty impressive shit, man. Like, they did this. One of them did a flip, like a backflip, and the other one pushed the side of him. So he did the flip in the air onto the other guy. Like, it was crazy. Like, it was weird. His own tag partner, as he did a flip, he pushed the side of him, so he flew further into the ring and landed on the guy.
Whoa.
It was weird. Just check out that match because I'm a Ciampa guy, just because, we've done business. And he's a great guy. And Timothy Thatcher, I think, is fucking great.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was British, by the way, before I ever heard him talk. I was like, oh, that's a British guy. He's missing a tooth, and his last name's Thatcher. Fucking, he looks like an old professor from England. No, he's American.
Yeah, he's from Northern California.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he's one of those guys. We're going to go shout-outs to NorCal people today, man. That's what today's all about. Shout-outs to NorCal people.
NorCal. What about, who was I thinking the other week from Cal? Oh, Big Ugly.
Big Ugly, dude. Fucking awesome, dude. Pardon?
Isn't he down from Sacramento?
He's from Sacramento, yeah. And he has 2 kids that wrestle.
He's a great guy, dude. Like, if anyone knows who we're talking about, I know of the guy because of watching Portland wrestling, and also that we ran with a promotion called DOA. And if you've ever heard of the Blanchards, he ran with them. And also, who was Big Ugly's tag team partner back in the day? Vinny something?
Yeah, Massaro.
Yeah. Is it really?
Vinny Massaro.
So, Big Ugly is a wrestler that he's trained a few guys too, hasn't he?
He trained Timothy Thatcher.
Yeah. Oh, really? Nah, well, there you go. That explains a lot of things when I watched Timothy Thatcher wrestle. And that's why I'm probably so zoomed after that. Yeah, I'm sure it's on YouTube. Check out Big Ugly in the Northwest California. he is just a fucking solid dude, and I wouldn't want him fucking mowing me down any day. But great guy, great professional wrestler. Check out Big Ugly. Just check out his stuff online. It's good shit. Let's see. Oh, your boy came out, Johnny Gargano, wearing his wife's pants, as Marion Cross said.
Good.
I don't know if Johnny Gargano's supposed to be a heel or a fucking face. I don't get it.
That's been his problem his whole fucking time that he's been booked. I don't know if it's how he fucking acts, but he's, you know, he never really could tell. That's one of the things, I don't know, except when he was working with fucking Ciampa, but that's just because Ciampa's so good.
Yeah.
Like, Ciampa carried.
He's the only reason I want to turn off the fucking show.
He's the only reason that what?
I wanted to turn off the show. Like, he just sucks. Because the main event with Kyle O'Reilly versus Adam Cole was fucking great. I mean, just awesome.
Dude, I haven't got to watch any of that fucking stuff since they split. I haven't seen any of it, dude. Like,
yeah,
I don't know what any of the story.
I really like the Undisputed Era.
I did too. And fucking, if you like Kyle O'Reilly, you should get to know Lyle O'Reilly. That's going to be a deep cut for someone. I don't know if they listen, but look out for old Lyle O'Reilly. It was.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah. What's that?
I'll have to check that out myself.
Oh, it's, yeah. You probably know the guy. So that's, yeah. Back to that fucking, yeah.
But here's what I was going to get into. I was talking to you this about before the show. I'm going to create a calendar. I'll post it up, updated with the shows as we put them out. And I was talking to Rusty here and noticing that if you look at your calendar and you put every fucking content of wrestling on your calendar a month, with Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, AEW, Dynamite, and Dark, NXT, with the pay-per-views. Hey, if you want to throw some fucking UFC in there, documentaries of the shows, the characters, Dark Side of the Ring. I believe if you put that shit on the calendar, there will be a handful of days that don't have wrestling on it, and the rest will be wrestling. And as I was sitting there thinking, saying it, I was like, I gotta get so deep into wrestling again, and I want to make it to where you find the good, and it's gonna be hard on a lot of things. You find the good in every part of wrestling that we watch.
Hey, okay, here's our thing. The two people, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and fucking Lex Luger. How we're gonna have this is gonna be the challenge. And that's what we've been trying to do since the day one of this podcast.
Why do I feel like I just fucking that was a screw job on me just right there? You just fucking screwed me right there live on the show. You just fucking got me coerced into now trying to find the good in two things that I refuse to ever find the good. I shouldn't say I refuse because then someone else was like, see, he just doesn't want to find good show or matches with these guys. I should say I haven't found anything because it's so generic and oversold or undersold or can't find a happy medium. God damn it. Why are you doing this to me?
Dude, I don't know, man. It came up. It's one of those things that popped into my head. I gotta say it. Ooh. What about this? All I'm saying is 24, boss. What?
Summer Adventure, Rusty and G find at least. Whoa. Making me sick.
Good. Today is going all right.
I was having a good morning up until that. I really feel sick to my stomach now. Now that I gotta
forget
go
about
down rabbit hole or the dragon's hole. I really feel sick now, man. That's gonna be a shit. Every show from now on is gonna be a grumpy show because I had to watch fucking Steamboat and Luger shit to find something good out of it. Oh, It's easy. I don't have to watch it. What the best thing they ever did was have their last matches. That I'm done. I've got it right there. Last things they ever did were the last matches they ever had. Boom.
You know what? Maybe we should watch that. We should find the last match. I bet we could type in Lex Luger last match and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat last match, and we can watch both of those, and then we can see them like.
If we ever watch this show, dude, we are gonna be dead, man.
Dude, like we'll see them like put their boots in the middle of the ring, and then we'll be like, yes, here we are, we did it, it's done.
Oh.
And man, but you know, both of them, I would want them to pass on the knowledge to anybody else. Like they can teach. Steamboat can teach people how to do like to flow with shit. Like he could flow. That was his thing. You're fucking great worker, great technical worker, just not as exciting as something like that. And he still have more than one cell. He has the Derek Zoolander effect with his selling, with his arm. It's just one look.
Oh, terrible. See, this could be a whole show of just chopping up their matches, doing a whole Mystery Science 3000 thing with their matches going on. That's what we should do.
We should do that.
Bam.
We should do that. Once we get this Facebook thing working tonight, like, because we're doing the beta testing for it. It's not released to the public yet. So only certain people are allowed to do this. So the thing that we're doing tonight, we'll be able to do it on Facebook, and it's going to like look a lot better and sound a lot better. So we're going to start doing it on there. And so we'll do this on there. And you can do watch-alongs, because we're going to watch along, you know, doing the Wonder Years and the...
It's all about podcast. Because of podcasting, there will be a new segment coming onto our show in a couple weeks. It's going to be a new, I guess, guest of ours.
Yeah, I guess what we would do, maybe like if you have your phone or your computer or whatever, or you cast it to something, and then we can be on it. We can just hit play at the same time and both watch it like that. I don't know if people will be able to do it. Maybe they can push play at the same time we do if they really want to sync it up.
And what they do on other podcasts is they give a time announcement, what time they're on, so other people can be in sync with them. So just in case you get out of sync or you don't have Peacock Premium, you're fucking got commercials going in.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be. You want to get the premium cock. You don't want the lower level cock. You want the premium cock.
Yeah, you gotta get that premium. Stick with that $9.99.
Your cock's gonna get interrupted all the time unless you get the premium. So
yeah,
make sure you pay that extra. Talking about
$9.99.
Did
you know? Did you know how much the first? I think it was the first Apple computer cost. $666.
And that's how you know Bill Gates is a fucking evil bastard. Well, you should have heard me last night. It got terrible. But anyway, I digress on that guy. You know, we got a lot of good stuff since opening this podcast up. We'll be doing a live show during a pay-per-view coming up in the near future. I will be hosting it. We'll be having run-ins. And speaking of run-ins, it's not official yet, but I can honestly say this. I will not say the name, but it is almost this close. We will have someone from ECW on our show. Oh, yes. I can pretty much put my fingers together. I just need someone to respond back with it's good to go. So, yeah, we'll talk about that in a little bit after the show. But someone from ECW will hopefully be coming on our show, and I can pretty much say it's official. It's done, but it's not what everyone would think, but it's what most have been wanting to hear for a long time. I can put it out there. So it'll be a good show to watch if anybody's an ECW junkie. But yeah, so I know you got a lot of podcasts coming through. We'll get everybody linked in. Watch Rusty's podcast here, not just wrestling. But speaking of which, I've seen it all week long. 25 years of NWO.
Yeah, that's a long fucking time, man.
Yeah, I got the black and white going. Yeah, I guess.
Dude, I got the red and white. I'm fucking. I guess
I didn't even have one of these when the NWO came out.
Yeah, I didn't either. That would have been
Like,
95. Yeah, dude, I would have had a pretty shitty nothing going on right there. Maybe I shaved once or twice at that time. Or no, 96. So I'd have been 14. 13, 14. And
I would have been like 16.
15, yeah.
Yeah. Just that's my freshman year. So just going into the jungle of Tualatin High School. What a fucking jungle that. No, we talked about NWO a couple weeks ago with Rob, and we talked about factions, and we talked about who were the bigger factions in the business, who made the most impact. DX was brought up, the Four Horsemen, and obviously the NWO. And it's been 25 years of the NWO. And I can remember sitting there watching Hulk Hogan, and I didn't watch it live because I'm just not a WCW guy. And it's different these days. I actually watch a WCW Nitro like all the fucking time these days. But watching Hulk Hogan turn heel, I think at the time, if I remember right, I was kind of iffy on it, just watching it. Like, this is kind of weird. It wasn't normal.
Well, I wasn't watching WCW then when the NWO premiered. I was, I caught something of it afterwards. Like, I was like, I had to see what was going on after that because I heard about it from my friends. And they were like, dude, Hulk Hogan's a bad guy now. And I'm like, what? 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 But, so yeah, he was a bad guy. He was with the bad guy. But
yeah, he was with the big man and the medium-sized man. Yeah. I love that. Was one of my favorite things. He goes, the big man and the medium-sized man. Like, I love that whole part, dude. It was so great. Scott Hall is oh man, he's a sad, happy story to me. Like, if anybody doesn't know the story of Scott Hall, I just want to get these things out there before everybody makes their jabs at the guy about his addiction problems. The guy had to end up killing somebody when he was a bouncer. He killed somebody by protecting. It was protecting himself or a lady, I think it was, during a scuffle. During this, the guy pulled the gun, and Scott Hall ended up shooting him with the gun, and it was a mess for him. And I'm sure he deals with that shit. I mean, he had to take somebody's life. It's not a reason to do addiction. But also look at the lifestyle. On the road, he was a main spoke in the wheel of WCW for years, and the stress. And a lot of people went to Scott Hall. A lot of people, whether you know this or not, he is like Jake the Snake. Psychology-wise, brain-wise for the business, Scott Hall is phenomenal. And a lot of people in the business are lazy fucking sacks of shit that ride fucking people's coattails, especially back in that era, getting those big contracts and just having days off. He put a lot of time and a lot of effort, and I think at some points the stress came down, and the way he dealt with that was pills and alcohol. And like I said, he had to end up killing somebody. On top of that, man, a lot of these guys, it's pretty much like leaving home. They're on the road 300 fucking days a year. And yeah, other ones you didn't see like this that Scott Hall did, but whether you believe it or not, a lot of them did do it behind the scenes. Scott Hall was just out there with it, and you could see it. So anyone who's never gave him a break, try to give the guy a break. He's a great guy. Listen to his fucking interviews, and the brain that this guy has is like Jake the Snake up there. Yeah, he's my favorite out the NWO, obviously. So
yeah. I'm Hogan, but that's just because I was Hogan as a kid. So Like, even though he was bad, like, I sure was upset, but it's like, dude, I gotta watch Hulk Hogan, man. Like, I don't know, because it was really weird when I was a kid watching it, because I'd watch, WWF, but I don't know, like Nitro would be on, Nitro. Like, even, yeah, Nitro, I guess. Nitro was on, but I usually wasn't watching it. It was just always kind of weird.
For sure.
And now, now I want to watch it. I watch it sometime because my friends will be watching it, and they're like, "You gotta watch WCW." I'm like, "Nah, I can't. I'm watching Raw at the same time, dude." I'm like, I'd rather see what's going on there. But at that time, man, I don't know. Like, that might have been my time when I was like trying to be cool and be like, "Oh no, fuck, I like wrestling a little." I mean, I don't watch it very much anymore. But I think that was the only time. And then, like, by ninth grade, I was like, fuck it, whatever, man. Dude, back in grade school, man, I had the WWF like duffel bag. Dude, I brought that to school like every day, dude. That shit was fucking cool as hell. I wish I would have still had it. But I mean, I'm sure I wore a hole through the bottom because when you take your duffel bag or your backpack, and we used to have to get in line in the gym after school to go get on the bus. And so we go and you throw your backpack and you slide it along the floor and you try to get it to hit the edge of the wall. We didn't have smartphones. We threw backpacks in gyms, man. That was
See,
our
I know
entertainment.
what you're talking about, but if there's anyone that's like 25 out there listening to the show, they're like, why wouldn't you just fucking entertain yourself with your phone, man? This was entertainment. This is the difference between generations here. That's a part of wrestling that we're dealing with now too. Is that the younger crowd wants to see the theatrics, and we want to see the ass beatings. So I mean, that's a whole other topic. But yeah, man. I mean, you sit there and think about that stuff. It's it makes me reminisce of the fact that there was the WCW fans, there was the WWE fans. But if you made fun of fucking wrestling in any way around any of the groups of fans, they would band together and be like, you don't fucking say that. You don't talk like that. Wrestling is wrestling. You put your whole, well, like us, we put our whole fucking life into this shit. So when people sit and go, wrestling's fake, it's just like, we get pissed. Like, and then back then, you had the little civil war with your fans, but still, there's a wrestling show on. It's the one sport where those fans can get together and have a good time.
Yeah, and
unlike
there's
sports out there.
And I mean, I guess it depends where you were. Like where I was, dude, I didn't really have like a lot of friends that would watch wrestling, especially at that time. They were like kind of people that were not really my friends, like not my immediate friends, but I go hang out with these people because they're wrestling fans and we watch wrestling together. And that was what we did. That was our
Was
friendship.
there anything else out there like that? I mean, you got video games where we go to each other's house and play video games, things like that. But I mean, it wasn't like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It was banding people together in groups. It was wrestling.
Yeah.
It was kind of what does to the older generation of men. They get together at their houses and garage or whatever. They have the beers. They got the big screen TV every Sunday, and they band together. And they can like one team, and the other guy can like another, and they'll banter back and forth. But that's kind of the same thing of what wrestling does. But as far as growing up as kids, that was it.
Yeah.
So, and speaking of growing up, man, so I'm sure you heard about this one. Growing up with Jim Ross. This guy has been through some shit, man. Right? I mean, he's had multiple strokes or whatever. He's got Bell palsy. I don't know how many matches this guy has called in his career. Never had any big, blunders or anything too big. And he slips up on Dynamite the other week and calls it WWE Dynamite. And these are the fucking assholes I talk about. And yes, I know, I got my beard with the gray in it this week, and I got my black t-shirt on and shit. I look like an AEW basement fucking fan, but no, he slipped up and said WWE Dynamite. Shit, out of all the shit he has called, he has that moment, and people jump on this shit like he pulled his dick out at a fucking playground. And it was just terrible. It's like, oh my God, dude, this guy has to. I mean, no offense to Tony Schiavone. He barely commentates with these guys.
Yeah.
Excalibur, he calls all the technical moves, all the new wave, trying to sound cool, get it over shit, you know. And Jim Ross is that solid, like, this is wrestling. It's like one of the last pro wrestling things we're hanging on to here that's genuine. And he slips up, and the fucking fans jump all over it. Dude, it happens, man. And slip-ups happen. It's not a big deal. If he kept doing it, then, hey, he needs to take one of those tests that Biden needs to take. And because he's, like, stumbling. But you know what? It's the way I look at it, shit happens. And now I'm sitting there thinking if it was Vince McMahon on his time, how that would have went. But the way I look at it is Jim Ross is over Tony Khan as far as importance goes, and I'm sure Tony Khan came up to him and was like, "Oh, it's okay, Jim. It's an accident." Like I said, if it was Vince, he'd be like, "Jim, you know where the fuck you work. This is not AEW Raw." You know, it is a stupid fucking accident, and people jumping on it. Those are those fans I talked about last week. They need to shut the fuck up. And it's just ruining the fuck out of wrestling. I saw him again on AEW last night. And the camera, they pan. Like, as soon as Tommy End showed up, the first thing I see is a fucking bearded guy with a fucking silo cup in his hand. And just all, oh yeah, like that. He's not there for the wrestlers because he's all up in the camera like he's coming down the fucking entrance ramp, you know? But yeah, that sucks. It sucks. Like, I heard about it and I felt bad for him. I'm like, dude, that's something I would do. I do it on a daily basis. I stumble on my fucking words.
Yeah.
Jesus. It's sad world we live in.
Well, I mean, I would say it. I forget things. I get forgetful. If you guys can imagine that one, it happens, or I stumble over words. You guys are hearing me in the podcast, so you know how that is. So, I mean, what can you do? And I'm sure JR has taken a number of bumps too. And maybe that's done something.
That mandible claw and setting his ass on fire, I think, really fucked him up. That's one of my favorite segments, by the way. Him and Foley doing that whole thing. That was just. There's some things in the business that are like art. Like just a piece of art, and that whole segment, that interview with him and Jim Ross is just fucking awesome. I love it. Yeah. See that shit anymore. You know, you don't see realism or the interviews, and it's kind of like this week. So we'll go into this one because I want to get into something that, man, something's got to change or someone's gonna get fucking killed. But they had the one thing they had on Road Rager was Chris Jericho and the MJF sit down.
Great.
Did you like the segment?
Yeah. Did you?
I felt like it was a ripoff from the McGregor Dustin Poirier event coming up because he had to bring it again. He did that whole thing, but right before they get in the ring, a fan runs into the ring and they do a pretty good chop up the camera. You don't see too much scuffling going on, but I heard Chris Jericho gets a hell of a punching on the fucking guy. And a fan runs in, I guess, to attack MJF, the guy was going after. Once again, these are the same stupid fucking fans that get too hopped up. And if you don't know what you're walking into, that it's all fucking, it's premeditated. Professional wrestling is premeditated. Everything is premeditated. You don't know that shit walking to the event, you're a fucking moron. Trying to make yourself a part of the event, dude, you're gonna get your ass kicked.
Yeah.
So what run-in fan moment do you remember the best in wrestling history besides the MJF and Chris Jericho?
good question. Like, who was it? I don't know. I had it happen one time when I was doing security at a show, and I didn't like know what it was. Like, it was weird. I thought it was just someone doing a run, and they went and like ran in, dove under the ropes, did an awesome job diving under the ropes, just like a fucking goddamn seal or some shit, and gets up, like goes around the ring. I was doing security, or maybe I was the ref. One of those two, man. But I was just like, what the fuck was
Pretty
that?
much
Like,
the same thing at some points.
yeah, and I didn't really know. I was like, because sometimes people don't clue you in on that shit and smarten you up and be like, hey, there's gonna be someone doing a run-in. But like, if I didn't know if I knew there was gonna be no run-in, I would have tried to punch that fucker out. But like, we're told now you can't do that, like, because it's especially in an indie company, because there's a lot of liability for punching someone, even though you have a show. There's not a thing saying, you know, if you come in here, there should be some sort of disclaimer. But I don't know if any promotions are good enough. Like, you could get punched, or like, something might happen and we're not responsible for it. Like, you can't sue us, and just have that very upfront and shit like that. Like, even if you didn't do that in a show, if you had that and you had to like sign a waiver to go into that show, that would bring people in. That's a fucking great gimmick right there. Dude, like, people would want to go. Like, you get fucking like people that are pissed off. Like, anything will get them pissed off, and it'd be a fun crowd to work with.
I think the whole entire time of being around that stuff, like doing the movies, to going to practice, to doing the segment in the ring with the Illuminati, I think I only ever signed one fucking waiver. I think that was like a lot. That's what I think, man. Yeah. You only need the one waiver to get your ass kicked the rest of the time. Fans running is this fucking stupid idea, because especially when you're doing it once again in front of kids. These kids, some kids out there that watch pro wrestling, they don't truly know that it's not fucking real yet. There's kids out there that think it's real, and then you have a full-grown man out of his mom's basement running into the ring. They're gonna start getting like, oh, mom, dad, let me jump over the rail too. I want to get in there. It's not good. Or they get this mentality like that's what happens at these shows, and then they're telling their friends, and their friends are going to their parents who've been telling them like, oh, I want to go to a show. Now they're telling them that fucking people are running into the ring. It's unsafe. It's not going to attract the good crowd.
No,
it's actually bullshit. So, but yeah, I don't know, man. It's really, 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 really silly, and you deserve what you get. The one that stands out for me all the time is the ones with the Macho Man.
Yeah.
And the fans of WCW, dude, Macho Man will kick your ass. Him and I think Hunter Triple H was one of them that had it happen to, and he ended up kicking some ass too.
Yeah, because I think in those shows you can, like, I don't think you can sue the wrestlers, and it's pretty cool too. Like, if you're a wrestler, you're gonna be like, "Well, you're gonna fucking sue me, dude? Like, I'm whoever. I'm wrestler, man. Like, I'm cool, man. Like, if you're like a top guy or something, but then maybe I don't know what people would do. It's pretty cool to meet people that you see.
Oh, I didn't get attacked by?
Yeah, I get attacked by fucking fans, dude.
Yeah, I mean, maybe when I was a kid, I fantasized about running in a ring and attacking, like, the model Rick Martel, because he had blinded Jake the Snake and it pissed me off. But I was a kid still thinking that, some of this shit was real.
Yeah.
And older, I was like, man, I was just like, that guy deserves to get sprayed in the ass. Because I had like the heels at that point. I was like, fuck it. But yeah, it's silly, and it even goes to the other thing. The other two ones I remember is the fan running into the ring and low blowing Randy Orton while he's on the turnbuckle.
Oh, shit.
I don't. It was at a house show. A fan runs in and fucking low blows him from the backside, and Randy Orton goes down, and then they run into the ring. And then another one is they don't even run into the ring, but they throw the Money in the Bank briefcase in the ring and nails Roman Reigns in the head. That's another one. What happens if that guy really had some fucked up arms or something and it didn't make it to the ring and it hit somebody in the fans, you know, whether that's a kid or an adult, it doesn't matter. Like, you're still hurting somebody with that shit.
Dude, that can maybe knock someone out, maybe kill someone.
Well, with shit like that, you run into the thing, like, you know, you've been to the live events, I've been to the live events. When you go in there, there's a little, I wouldn't say a pat down, but you go through metal detectors here. They've had my wife open up her purse before, like, you know, what the fuck you bringing in? And back in the day, you couldn't even have cameras or anything like that. Now you can bring your smartphone in and record pretty much the whole entire fucking show on your phone. They don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, things have really changed, but if you keep doing that shit, they're going to take some things away and put it like a pandemic and put restrictions on the shit. So, I mean, just don't do stupid shit. It's going to really fuck things up. Wrestling's already in a shitty spot as it is, and yeah, man, it's pretty dumb. I don't know. One of the last couple things I want to get into is scaling back on wrestling shows. Do you think if people the entrances?
If people what?
Well, the entrances. So, like, you know how it takes some of the wrestlers a minute to get out to the ring. They could have a 10-second match.
That's the Wrestle Diamond special.
If it's a gimmick, that's different. But when it's every fucking wrestler coming out, like WrestleMania, I don't mind some of the entrances. But I've seen Triple H's fucking, like, King on the throne thing, and I got to wear a crown, and then my wife's coming out on a bike gimmick with me, and now we're doing the biker thing with the skull. Like, they're the same things. They just evolve a little bit differently every year, and there's 10-second fucking entrances. And everyone's ooh and ah about the entrance, and then we get into the match, and it's stale, and it's, oh, whoa, fuck, you have an entrance like that, and this match sucks shit now. You know, or floating pancakes. Like, I just
really don't like those floating pancakes.
No, because it's geared toward kids, and what I found out just recently, demographic-wise, kids are some of the lowest amounts of people that are watching these shows now. There's not that many kids anymore. It's 18 to 40-year-olds that are watching these shows. That's why I'm like, these shows need to be a little bit more geared up and grown up, you know, and it just, I just feel like it's being more kid-oriented when less kids are watching the product now.
Yeah, that seems like basic business. You should go and not put all your money and time into something that's not making you money.
Yeah, and it doesn't make sense. So the demographic shows that, I think the other week, was 13% of the audience were kids, and the rest of it was adults. And so you're doing all these silly things like, okay, you're a Matt Riddle guy.
Yeah.
All right, I can't fucking do it. It's the bro shit has gone on for too long, and plus, I hate one guy who says bro enough. I feel like I'm watching Vince Russo's kid in the ring, bro. Like, that's how Vince Russo was writing these days. Matt Riddle's whole promo will be bro. Like, that's how it would be the whole entire fucking time if Vince Russo was writing his shit. They would fall in love. Matt Riddle would have every championship, plus somehow they would take a scooter and make it into a championship belt, like fucking John Cena and a spinner. I know I'm shitting on him hard, but I feel like that old man now going, I don't get it.
But then you don't like the guy who was the UFC fighter and coming to wrestle?
No, I don't like it that way. I like it when it's pro wrestlers going to be UFC fighters.
Yeah.
Because I was not a fan. I did like Dan Severn, but he didn't do too much in it. It's just because I know what these guys say about the business, and then they come over to it. Ronda Rousey's one of them. I've heard the shit she said before. And then she was supposedly a fan of it. it doesn't work. And yeah, it didn't work for CM Punk over to UFC, but he gave it a shot. He was too old for it. Not sure if it would have prevailed even if he was younger. It's a different contrast, I guess, to put it over. And I don't know, man. It's not a touchy subject for me. It's just always like a subject of me. Like, they have no business in wrestling, but wrestlers have all the business being in UFC with me. Brock Lesnar is a prime candidate for that. So I don't know, man. I think they need to scale back since it's not really your demographic anymore as kids. It's I'm not saying start swearing, start showing all the blood or the TNA all the time.
Should when it's needed.
Yeah, when it's needed. You don't need to be like AEW and say the word shit every segment because you know how many times you can say it. Like Jim Ross said it on Road Rager. Well, not but shiznit, whatever. This way of saying shit.
Shiznit,
yeah. Getting it over one way or another. But I think they should scale back. And I think one, it would save some money, put some more of that money into talent. And also scaling back less pay-per-views. I'm at the point now, I'm like, there's a pay-per-view this weekend? Didn't we just have one 2 weeks ago? That's where we're at now. And that's just for WWE. Or that's just for WWE for me. Where I'm like, there's a pay-per-view this week. Like, next weekend, there's Money in the Bank. Then there's...
kind of seems the same way.
Their pay-per-views feel more spread out, kind of like the old school way.
Okay.
I like the every other month at least, not every month. I like the build-up.
I do too. I think there should be every other month is probably good. Every other month, if you want to go 3 or 4 months, like 3 months, like do 4 a year, and then maybe one like in the middle of that somewhere, just for the hell of it. I like the summer, the spring, the Royal Rumble in the winter.
Yeah, it was the 4 seasons.
Yeah, the 4 seasons of wrestling. What's that?
Maybe King of the Ring in there somewhere.
Okay, that's the wild card. I like the King of the Ring. It should be good to have a new king every year if the king can defend it. That'd be the only time the king would have to defend it would be at that show. The King of the Ring.
When I was younger, I would always sit there and bitch, though. I'm like, you got King of the Ring, but then you got Jerry the King Lawler commentating. I mean, he's not in the tournament. I'm a little confused. How many kings do you want in your fucking company here?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's just total scale back on, not so much on the road shows, because I enjoy live events, whether they're on TV or not on TV, but just scaling back on the shows, putting out more of the matches, making them longer so we see people a little bit longer, and not so much as entrance shit or having these 8 segments for one guys. And no, not shitting on your boy again, but Matt Riddle, showing him 8 times on Monday Night Raw, scoot around and say his little bro, or like, wouldn't that be funny, bro? Or just stupid shit like that. Like, they do that at the Hurt Business, the same thing. I think they're starting to overexpose Bobby Lashley. Did it again. But they're overexposing some of the talent and underexposing. They got to find that happy medium.
Yeah. And I don't know. And then see, that's when I think it's good for them to like maybe have that like as an exclusive. Like you can go and watch it online, like some other shit like that. I don't know. Watch it online, dude. Yeah, check that out on there. Like have a little like minute and a half WWE exclusive. Matt Riddle scoots around on his scooter saying, "Bro."
Oh God. That'd be horrid. But no, there's a couple other talents out there, and kind of where I had to question some of the releases the other week. They're scaling back on new talent, shit like that. And I like the guy, but I think time is up, and that's Rey Mysterio Jr. I think it's time to go home.
That's fair. Or yeah.
I really feel like he's just, I don't know, man. Like I said, I like the guy a lot. I think he is something that really evolutionized the business. He is one of those page turners that start a new chapter right there. I mean, you look at the cruiserweight division and NWO and WCW when they were doing all the right things, obviously, and he was one of the main front runners for that. Him and Eddie, and I'm saying that, and we talked about NWO 25 years ago. Look, Rey Mysterio is still around wrestling. NWO is not. And I know he's trying to get his kid over and put him out there, but, you got to let these guys do their own thing, or they're just going to be imitations and ripoffs of their fathers or their mothers in the business.
Yeah.
I mean, is Dominic going to get the mask sooner or later? I mean, does he take that over? So, I don't know. I'm not trying to end it on a shitty note for today and shit on someone, but I've been watching it lately, and I just feel like he's one of the guys they could have cut out and let go. Jeff Hardy's another one they should do that too. Yeah. I feel like they're pushing the guy at this point. I feel like he's about to go and do one of his DUI things. I forgot about that this week. To get out of the company. And I think that's a shitty thing to do, but that might be his only option. And that's what he's known for. But yeah, a couple other things. So Uso and a DUI. Do you think he's going to get fired?
You got another DUI?
You didn't hear about this.
No.
He got pulled over. He admitted that he had been drinking. He was swaying when he got out the car. And he got another DUI. Now, the previous one, I don't know the whole circumstances, but he wasn't charged with the last one. This one, I'm sure he'll get charged with. But he's had a lot of ups and downs. Both Usos have. But this is a second DUI in a short amount of time. He's on the top of the card being pushed really hard. With another promotion running, with releases going, do you think, with having his brother there, do you think he'll stay in the company after this?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
Just so AEW can't get him?
Yeah. I'm sure they got a fucking cozy shit. They don't have to do anything for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, because they're the new clique. If you think about it, the Samoans in WWE are the new clique. They run shit.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. Roman Reigns is like the new Shawn Michaels, like, give me what the fuck I want, or, whatever. These people won't be happy. And you got The Rock related into that, and that's Vince's, like, boy right there. So, but otherwise, we'll be checking out the UFC this weekend, or tomorrow night, actually. So, if anybody likes all the pro wrestling dramatic shit, check out UFC. McGregor's decided to pull some drama soap opera shit into his fight for the weekend.
Oh.
He pulled Dustin Poirier's wife into all the bullshit, saying that Dustin Poirier's wife was DMing him.
Oh.
Check out the highlights.
Shit. Fucking Pro Wrestling Story 101.
See, but that's why I watch UFC, is to get away from that.
Yeah,
sometimes I post these stories. I just want to see the all-out brawling, and now we're bringing that shit into UFC after they shit on those kinds of things with wrestling.
Yeah. Well, what do you expect?
You know who the special guest is for the UFC fights this weekend, right?
Nope.
Donald Trump will be there this weekend.
Shit.
Yeah, well, his boy is Dana, so he'll be. I guess I don't know if he'll be in a box, which I'm assuming because he'll probably get bum rushed if he's on the floor seating. But yeah, man, I will be checking out the fights. I've already made hopefully some dinner plans here with the family. We're gonna do big nachos and watch the fights, and so it's a good show when McGregor's on. So hopefully one day he'll jump to WWE. He would be fucking great on WWE.
Yeah.
Oh man. Or the Diaz's.
Oh yeah.
They were fucking badass over there. But what's your big plans for the weekend?
I have this show coming up tonight. Gonna do that at 6, I think, my time. So that's are 5 Pacific, 8 Eastern. Yep. I have to change all my shit now, dude. And then we got a guy from Japan. I forgot whatever time it is there. Probably in the future. But I got that, and then the rest of the weekend, I'm going and gonna take some stuff from the storage unit and get my business back going, my selling shit online. And then I talked to the person I'm hiring to work, and she's gonna. I think we're gonna start on Monday or Tuesday or something. Get her posting stuff, and like I want to go buy stuff, but I don't have any room, and it sucks.
We don't want to be out there in the heat either this weekend. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, and going to the storage unit. The storage unit's outside. Like we did it last Friday. So whatever the temperature was in Salt Lake City last Friday, man, it was hot as fuck, and we unloaded the trailer. We went into the U-Haul. We had the movers put our eBay stuff on the U-Haul, and the other stuff brought into our house. But like, yeah. So then we just took the U-Haul over to the place and unloaded it all. But gonna, bring some stuff back over here, and then make it so she can go grab shit every morning that's sold and bring it over here, and I can pack it up.
Nice.
Take it out to the thing while she's listing shit. But yeah, that's what I'm doing this weekend. I'm trying to get ready for that. Maybe go out and explore. I went out and drove through some mountains and canyons and shit a few days ago. That was pretty fun, man.
Nice.
Just to fuck off. But yeah, I might do that this weekend too. So what about you, man?
Well, we got to stay indoors here because every time anyone goes outside here in Oregon, they get attacked. So it's not exactly the same thing anymore. So we're gonna stay in, watch the fights this weekend. Told my wife that we're gonna take Saturday night off. We're very just burnt out. I know I am from work, and we just got done with a big project with Matt Cardona, and hopefully that will be put on an action figure soon, and we can show that off on the show coming up. Speaking of Matt Cardona, his PBR commercial debuts today. So if anybody else in the show gets up, check out Matt Cardona and his PBR commercial. Also, he's got a huge, and I wouldn't ever want to fucking do this. He's got a huge death match coming up with Nick Gage on the 24th, I believe it is. So check that out. Hopefully everything goes okay. Nick Gage makes me a little nervous from what I've seen, what he does with people, and Matt Cardona is our boy and does a lot of great stuff for our business here, and is a good guy, and hopefully he's comes out of it unscathed, but I don't know. So that's coming up on the 24th. And like I said, we'll have some big announcements. We'll get more details out about the ECW coming in on this. And, we'll hopefully get some more shows. I want to talk to Rob and get him back on here and some more analyzing, especially about scaling back on the show. So otherwise, that is it for me this week. Hopefully we keep getting more surprises in wrestling. I think everyone saw the gravitation to that. Whether whoever it was showing up on how they did it. That's the way wrestling should be. That it gave you goosebumps. When I watched it, I knew someone was coming from your text. I got into it and I was like, oh shit. Then I was like, oh, wait a minute, how did they make that happen? So the guy I am had to go off into the rabbit hole and be like, how did he get to this show so quickly, you know? Hopefully we see some more, and I did hear from AEW on their show that they're going to have more big surprises coming up.
Oh.
So, after hearing what TNT doesn't want them doing surprises, they like to know ahead of time. Well, fuck them, because hopefully they saw what we all saw and what it did and the attention that it pulled into that promotion just by doing that.
Yeah.
So we'll see if it can, like I said before, though, AEW gets something good for a minute, and then fucking it goes off the rails so quickly.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They'll learn.
I want to find out how long his contract's for. I always
Yeah.
like finding how long
Yeah.
they dug their graves for. See how long they got to be there. Even though he calls WWE prison in his vignette. So,
Oh, good.
it's easy, folks. We just take one topic and it starts spiraling out of control as we're trying to end the show here for the week. But hopefully we'll be back normal time next week. I will be actually out of town for a day or two next week, so we'll fit it in somewhere. But otherwise, like we always say, be good to each other, do something nice for each other, have a good weekend, and yeah, do something nice, take care of each other. You, how about you take us on out there, Rusty?
All right, you guys. Since we're already down the rabbit hole, you guys are getting pulled along pretty hard here. So, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna pull you in, and you're in now, and we're gonna leave. So, bye.
So long, folks.